Speaking of motorcycles,
Yes.
it wasn't difficult to ride my 2020 Harley-Davidson FLDE Softail Deluxe, one of our new inventory items. And this one is the coolest looking one ever. Stone-washed white pearl over black, the seat.
Yes.
372 actual miles.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all you put
Still
on.
got the original tank of gas.
Wow.
No.
Brand new.
Is that right?
Well, I didn't buy it brand new, so I bought it for
Right.
368 miles. And now it's like 372. No, actually, I think I had 354 or something. So I put a whopping
That's
18
enough.
miles.
That's enough.
Or something. Garage kept, showroom fresh. It's got the Milwaukee 8 107 V twin and 6-speed transmission. So
Yeah.
this thing is really, and wide whites,
It's beautiful.
and it's really a
beautiful
good
bike.
looking bike.
It's
But
one for the living room. I put it in the living room just to admire it. It's one of those.
It really is a good looking
bike.
Yeah, it's good looking. And if you get a chance, you can check that out on our website, classicautomall.com, or any of the classic car sites all over the world. I mean, we're on Hemmings, classiccars.com, and Auto Trader. And somebody asked me today, one of our clients called up, and he wanted to know if we were advertising on specific marks' websites. And I said, not specifically, no. We advertise on the ones that are the biggest ones and have the most reach. And we're on 65 plus websites that we contract with and or pay for. However, probably another 50 or 60 sites, a four-wheel drive site, or Camaro site, Mopar site, that get our inventory and put it on their site with still our contact info. There's nothing nefarious about it.
Right.
It's just taking that information and just transferring to their site, so it gets more eyeballs and exposure. So although we don't pay for that, and although we don't contract for that, it's still a way that we can promote your car, and it's out there. And it's amazing how many sites are out there that do just that. And again, I think the only thing, they're not looking to make money off of it necessarily. They're looking for traffic.
Yes,
the more traffic they get, then they can sell advertising to Jiffy Lube or
Power of the internet.
Yeah, the power of the internet. It's a pretty amazing thing. So if you get a chance to check out my Harley, because I really need to see it. It needs to go today. Sunday.
Make an offer.
Make an offer I can't refuse. Next up, the 2008 Saturn Sky Convertible. How did I make it into a 3?
I don't know.
It's polar white over charcoal black. 19,000 actual miles. It's a lot of car for the money. These got a lot of bang for the buck.
Yeah, when I do research on the Saturns, there's nothing but rave reviews. And
love them.
Yeah, they did back in the day when they came out, too. They apparently handle really well.
Yeah.
Built in Wilmington, Delaware at the
about that?
Boxwood Chevy plant.
Yeah, exactly. And they're 2008, so now that's 12, 16 years, 17 model years old.
Okay. There goes the math again.
Mr. Math. 10, 20, 30. Yeah.
Well, most of them aren't used as daily drivers, so we get a lot of low mileage Saturn Skies in, and they're nice cars.
We've had probably a dozen over the years, I would imagine, and they're really nice. This one garage kept, 2-owner, very original, 2.4 liter inline 4, which is plenty of power for these things. They're fun to drive.
Yep.
They've got some spunkiness. They
Yeah.
a little get up and go.
They do.
Come on.
There's no complaints in the reviews from Car and Driver, Road and Track about the power.
I have a friend that's on his third Pontiac Solstice, which is the
essentially the
sister
same thing.
vehicle, but it's more rounded. I like the Sky because it's got more sharp lines. That attracts me.
It's a better looking car. When a car's that small and it gets rounded, it becomes kind of almost cartoonish looking.
Yes.
Like the Solstice does. But the Sky is a much better, and white's a really good car. And we were talking about this last week. White is not always good on every car.
Right.
There's certain cars you go, just white just doesn't work.
Like a fleet car.
Yeah.
Fleet car.
Yeah, I had a fleet car, Impala.
Did you?
I used to drive.
Oh, boy.
Cloth interior. But it had a sunroof, so it was kind of fancy. Next up, the 72 Chevrolet Corvette Coupe. Ontario orange over black. That's a color you don't see very often.
No, you don't.
It's very rare.
If you see an orange Vette from the 70s, it is Ontario orange.
Yeah, it's almost a burnt orange.
Yeah,
right?
it's right. It's not a bright orange.
Not bright, not Tennessee orange, or orange, as Kathy says,
Orange.
I say. It's numbers matching 350 LT1 V8, 3 owners from new, numbers matching Muncie M21, numbers matching 350 as well. The frame off restored example, and one of 1,741 built.
Wow.
Now, when we say one of 1,741 built, does that mean that built with that combination of an automatic and LT1 or a manual and LT1 or Ontario Orange?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't
it may be
either.
one of 1,700 convertibles.
I know
sure.
that when you look at like a Marty report for the Ford, the Mustangs, and all the different Ford examples, a lot of times they will break it down so far into the options that this is one of one that had an AM radio and posi traction or whatever. And it's funny, they can make almost anything a one of less than 50.
I wish all the manufacturers had a Marty report.
Well, wouldn't that be great?
It would be good.
And you know how smart of Kevin Marty, the guy who owns the Marty report, to buy all that from Ford. I wonder, it'd be interesting to know what he paid for that.
I don't know, but
anybody knows, call me.
You have to pay for a Marty report, right?
You pay him for it, but he paid Ford for all the records. Or maybe they gave him to him.
It's just a cash cow now.
Maybe they were like, oh man, thank God, get these boxes out of here.
Computerize this.
Yeah, secret documents and all that stuff. Just get them the heck out of here. We don't want to see that stuff anymore. So, also new arrival, the 1986 Mustang SVO, one of actually two Mustang SVOs we've gotten in the past couple of weeks. This one is silver metallic over charcoal gray and light gray. Very well kept. This is a great example. All stock. It was repainted in 2023, and it's got the 2.3 liter turbocharged inline 4 Borg-Warner T5 manual. Man, these things, when they first came out, they were pretty cool. I mean, they're still pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, that offset vent, that offset scoop on the hood, it's just so cool. Yeah, not the fastest Mustang, but they're special with the double wing and the scoop. Just really cool.
Very Euro inspired. And the Mercure was looks similar to. They were kind of in that same era. And the SVO, the other one we got in, this one's silver. The other one we got in is black, and that's a really good color on that. And I imagine there's all kinds of modifications. You know, Ford in their SVO, which is what this stands for, Special Vehicle Operation, were able to get almost 900 horsepower out of a four-cylinder back in the day when they were racing IMSA. And those four cylinders are pumping out, I think, that 900 and something horsepower on a four-cylinder engine. That's technology, my friend.
Yeah. These two SVOs came in, I think, the same week. I had to look and see if they were the same consignor, like a guy who collects SVOs, but they're two different consigners. They're both really nice examples, and they're still reasonable. Like they're still not haven't hit their mark,
their plateau. And we'll feature the other one next week on the show. I actually didn't realize that we'd gotten a second one in when I did this. So shame on me. I'll feature the black one as well. Also in the 1955 Chevrolet Bel Air two-door hardtop, gypsy red and shoreline beige, which are probably the greatest color on a 57 Bel Air that you could ever have, or 55 through 7, a tri-5, if you will. And red and beige interior, 77,000 actual miles. It's got the 265 cubic inch two-barrel V8, but it's got a turbo hydromatic 350.
Yep.
So it makes it pleasant to drive.
3-speed.
Yeah, 3-speed, because a 3-speed manual back in the day, boy, you begged for 2 more gears.
Yeah, exactly.
Even a 4-speed back in the muscle car days, you begged for a 5th or 6th gear. But this is the first year for the Tri-5s. The Tri-5s being the 1955, 56, and 57 Chevys. In 58, they went to a completely different body style, and that was 1 year only.
Right.
So that cost a gazillion dollars.
Probably.
May have the start of the downfall of General Motors for a while. But this one's really beautiful. And that, if you haven't seen Gypsy Red and Shoreline Beige is almost an off-white color, but it's just really rich and great looking.
Iconic.
Very iconic.
I hate to overuse that word.
I know.
I try not to, but there's no other replacement for it.
It's such a fancy word.
It's a good word.
I like to say iconic.
It says it all.
Anyway, we will be back, and I just see that we've run out of time for this segment. So when we return, we'll discuss more of our new inventory here at the Classic Auto Mall show. See you in a minute.
Whether you want to buy or sell a classic, collectible, or special interest vehicle, you need to visit the Classic Auto Mall website for more information. If you're looking to buy, you can easily search our inventory of more than 1,000 vehicles on the web at classicautomall.com.
And we're back. That's why you're pointing at me, right? Does that mean go?
That's right.
Maybe we could get a red light, green light.
That is what that means.
Red light, green light. Ricardo. You know, we knew that was you, JR. You didn't fool us.
Okay.
You thought you did, but we did. We knew. We know. San Juan, he know.
He know.
That was that the coffee thing, wasn't it? The guy that made the coffee, and he know.
So is that Juan Valdez?
Juan Valdez, he know.
Wow, that's an oldie.
Yeah, oldie but goodie, right? And last but not least, in the new arrivals this week, the 1965 Chevrolet Malibu SS hardtop. 1965 Malibu, if you look at it from a cursory glance looking in, it's a boxy looking, just a plain Jane
basic car.
But people love them.
Yeah.
I mean, they are revered in the Malibu, Chevelle, mid-60s Chevrolet camp. They just absolutely go nuts over these.
Right.
They just like that. I think it's that kind of everyman's car. And that's the Nova was like that.
Exactly.
They were inexpensive.
Yep.
Everybody could get in and buy one, and then you could do all kinds of fun things with it. You could do kind of modifications and hop different carburetors. I mean, this one has got a 383 stroker, so it's a little different from original with the turbo hydromatic 350 as well. But it's a true SS. It's got the 10-bolt rear, power brakes, amazing driving car. And a lot of people would not get this. They would look at this and say, especially non-car people, and they say, it's just a boxy looking car. But there's something magical about a Nova and a Malibu Chevelle from the 60s that really captures people's attention.
It's true, and they do very well here.
They do. They don't
hang around long.
They don't last
I actually drove this one, and the power brakes are insane. I mean, they're like, you're not used to power brakes on a 65.
Usually you need a little bit a room between you and whatever's in front of
right.
you.
These work great.
You've been listening to the Classic Auto Mall Show with your host, Stuart Howden.